Shall we start the class? See, actually, this is the third class. In the first class, we discussed about what are the topics that we have to discuss as far as this macroeconomics is concerned. And in the last class, we have started with the themes of economics and completed the scarcity and efficiency. You can see the syllabus. In that introductory part, we have completed the themes of economics. Yesterday, we have taken the scarcity and efficiency. Now, today we are going to discuss about three fundamental economic problems. So, let us start. I think only 7 of you are present. Whether we have to wait or let me continue. You can answer in the chat box, please. Okay, let them come and join. Let me start the today's topic is fundamental problems in economy. Yesterday we talked about the scarcity and efficiency because human wants are unlimited, but the sources are very limited. So from the study, the essential process of economy, it would appear that there are some fundamental problems which will arise in any type of economy. There are two basic things that we should keep in mind. That the first one is the human wants for goods and services is unlimited. The sky is the limit. But on the other hand, secondly, we cannot be the productive sources in order to augment this human wants are very limited. That's why we used to say the resources for producing goods and services are scarce. So wants being unlimited and our resources are limited, you cannot satisfy all the wants. I hope you understand. That's way it is to be decided what type of goods to be allotted, which one is getting the priority, which will give more satisfaction than others. So who has to decide? The economy has to decide. The economy in the sense the society. Society means the aggregation of individual. Each individual can decide his own consumption pattern. So the major criteria is scarcity and efficiency. We need more, but availability is very less. So in order to manage these two, we are facing three type of problems. What problem? It's nothing but number one, what to produce, because n number of products are there. Which product to be produced? Not only that, the second problem will arise, how to produce that particular selected product. The third problem is for whom to produce. So the fundamental economic problem, or it may be called as a basic problem of economics, or it may be called as a central problem of economy. There are three problems. What are they? What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So whatever the type of economy, the capitalist economy like United States of America, or it may be socialist economy like Russia, or mixed economy like India, the problem is the same, because what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, it will not be changed. Maybe the system may differ from one country to another, but any type of economy, it may be capitalism or socialism or mixed economy, whichever, communism, whichever be, but these three fundamental problems has to be answered. So these basic or fundamental problem of economy, how we people are facing that based on basic idea about these three blocks we should have. Then only it is easy to analyze that particular problem. Let's start with the first problem, what to produce. It's very easy one. What to produce means there are two categories. One is which to be produced, and the second one is which not to be produced. Goods which to be produced and which is not. The second one is at what quantity that we have to produce is another criteria. So the economy has to decide to produce what to produce, that too at what quantity. If the productive resources are unlimited, we can produce any number of goods and services and we can complete the task. But the thing is, the available resources are very less, and with the available resources, we should provide the raw material for producing the goods and services which we are needed. So that was the question is, what goods to be produced and what not. It would be in a clear way what to produce, in how much quantity it should be. So this is the very first problem of any economy. Suppose an individual, he is having 10,000 rupees as an income in his own. What he can produce, he will provide some amount for rent, some amount for provision, some amount for milk, and some amount for education, some amount for health. But out of this 10,000 only he has to. But suppose he is having only 10,000 rupees, he cannot go and buy a costly product instead of buying the provision or milk, because it is a basic amenity that we have to provide. With the available resources, he has to spend on it. Similarly, for economy, with the available resources, what type of goods that we have to concentrate? It's not possible to concentrate, keep on giving this sophistication or any comfort. All these things we cannot go for it. So what we have to do, we have to decide what type of product that should be produced, and it is mandatory that what type of product which we should not produce. Once we decide what type of product it is, then how much quantity we have to produce. This is a very basic problem of economy. Then we are moving to the next one, is the second problem, how to produce. Might be. Let me explain in detail about the first problem and then we'll go to the second problem. If the society decides to produce a particular product, for example, say product X, suppose when the resources are employed for product X, it is indirectly indicating that we should withdraw the resources for producing Y. An economy has to decide how much resources should be allocated for the particular product X. It may be either consumer product or it may be a capital product. That's not the matter. Suppose we decide we have to invest or you have to allocate the resources for a particular product, then it is indirectly affect the alternative product. The choice between the consumer and capital good involves the choice of present and the future. At that particular economic situation, whether we are going to select product X or product Y. Suppose we are allocating resources to product X means proportionately the allocation for Y will reduce. Suppose on the other hand, vice versa, if you allocate resources for Y, then the proportionately the X will be reduced. So the production of consumer will have to cut down. But the greater amount of capital goods will make possible production of larger quantities of consumer goods in future. Suppose, based on the time factor, it may be emergency, it may be a depression, or it may be a recession period. The government has to decide which product has a priority. Even now, we are having a pandemic situation. Even though it is pandemic situation, we are giving more priority for necessary morning milk, vegetables, and other vegetables we are allowing. But whether we are allowing other services or any other manufacturing capital goods means we are restricting. Why? We are considering the present situation and we are deciding all the allocation of the thing should be for the essentials. So the current situation is the right thing to understand what to produce, what not to produce. So let's move with the second economic problem. It is how to produce. Once we decided what to produce and what not to produce, the next best task for any economy is how to produce. This means the combination of resources are to be used for production of goods and what type of technology, the technology or know-how we have to decide in order to produce that particular product. Once the society has decided what goods and services are produced and in what quantity, it must then decide how these goods should be produced. It may be labor intensive or maybe capital intensive. If more manpower is there, then we have to go for the labor intensive. Suppose we are having a good technology, then we will go for the capital. Yeah. So once we decide what to produce, then we have to decide how to produce. There are various alternative methods for producing goods in the economy. For example, suppose we want to produce a cloth, say a particular bed sheet, we can say bedspread. How this particular bedspread should be produced? There are automatic looms or with the power looms are there. Simultaneously, we have the khadi craft, that is hand looms. We have to decide whether we go for the hand looms or power looms. Hand loom means it is a labor intensive method of producing how to make bedspread. Suppose we are going for the power loom, then it is not labor intensive, it is a capital intensive. So the second economic problem is how to produce. This particular how to produce has to make some decision. Either we are go for the labor intensive system or capital intensive system. Similarly, it is decided the irrigation, about mine irrigation would be a major product because it is agro-based products. This particular agro product should move to the industry. So we should consider not only the particular product. We talk about the sectors like agriculture, industry, and service. So this particular thing, different methods we have to adopt. Out of different method, one particular method. ஏதோ குழந்தை பிரிக்கிறது. I think somebody is playing. My dear, I think somebody is. Thank you. Let me continue. Different methods and techniques of production would be different quantities of various resources. For instance, the production of corn in a hand loom would make more labor, less capital. Likewise, production of power, there will be more capital than less manpower. So the first one is called labor intensive technique of production. The second one is called capital intensive technique of production. So thus the economy has to choose whether the production is labor intensive or capital intensive. So what are the, so far we have discussed what to produce at what quantity. This is the very first problem. Once we decided this, then the second fundamental problem is how to produce. That particular thing we have completed. Now we are moving to the third one. Before moving to the third one, we should understand what are all the factors of supply and for whom we have to produce. Who is going to produce? It may be a natural resources, it may be a human resources, or it may be a capital resources, whichever criteria that we have. Based on these resources, we have to decide for whom to produce. Once the problem of what and how of produce are solved, the goods then to be produced. How to produce that? It is based on the factors of production: land, labor, capital, and that is called resources. Land means natural resources. Number two, labor means human resources. Similarly, for capital, it is capital resources. Using these resources, we have to decide for whom to produce, whether we are producing for poor or whether we are producing for low income group or whether we are producing for industry, whether we are producing through the export. Based on that, the purpose of producing, then we have for whom to produce means how the particular national product has been distributed among the members of the society. That is why the next topic what we are going to discuss is the society capability. Before knowing the society capabilities, it is mandatory that we should understand the fundamental problems of an economy. It may be capitalist or it may be socialist or it may be communism, whichever type of economy is, there are three problems. One is what to produce, number two, how to produce, and number three, for whom to produce. So once we understand these three problems, then we have to give solution for that particular fundamental problem. The easiest solution, and all the people are preferring that, is called price mechanism. This price mechanism will set what will be the equilibrium price for individual commodities. It may be a factor market, it may be a local market, whichever be. That particular price mechanism will give solution for all three problems. Why? Because it concentrates both the demand and supply. Because the price is related with both demand side and supply side of the product. The main problem of what to produce, how to produce, and who to produce is we should design the product. What is the demand for that particular product? Based on that only we have to go for that particular product. Suppose people are not demanding a particular product, the resources will not be allocated for this. Only 8 participants it seems. Why? What about the rest of the 4? Anyhow, someone is trying to get in, but okay, let's continue. So once we know what is the demand for the product, and we can able to decide how to supply that. The demand is deciding. I think Rahul is. The demand is the deciding factor for producing a particular product. So based on the price, we can easily make a suitable solution for all these fundamental problems. The indicator of that particular thing is how we are choosing the product. Once it is said what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, it's easy. Suppose if we don't know what is the demand for the product, it's not possible to decide. So based on the demand only, we are deciding and we are giving solution for the fundamental problem. So with this, I'm completing the thing. These are fundamental problems of. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. My dear. If any participants is here to join, all of you type your name in the chat box for giving attendance. Please type your name. For example, Anush Arvind present, James present. Type in the chat box. Thank you, Rahul. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. See, these three are fundamental problems. Apart from that, there are many other problems are there. It may be categorized as micro level and macro level. The other problems are it is unemployment, inflation, and trying to achieve the national income, that is per capita income. These are the other problems in an economy. But the first unit syllabus asks only 3 fundamental problems. But later in the second unit, third unit, we will study about the other economic problem like unemployment, inflation, and other economic indicators like national income, something like that. Have any doubt? You can ask. Okay. We'll have a break and we will be joining once again by 10 o'clock. Okay, the same link you can use. Before joining the Zoom meet, put attendance in Google Classroom and then join. May God bless you, my children. I think only 7 of you have typed your names. The rest of people, I don't know why they are not. Okay, thank you. May God bless you.